Welcome to First Issues. We are fresh into the new year, and as it has become customary, everyone is penning down their resolutions in terms of what they want that new year to look like. Some people are gearing up to get into shape so that they fit perfectly into their corporate gear. Some are working on their mental health, while others, however, have some financial goals that they would like to achieve. All too common is spending a lot of time daydreaming about these goals for the future and what to do once they've been achieved. Things like buying a dream home, purchasing that dream car, and traveling the world are all very common bucket list items. This list may be different for different people for different reasons, but all the same, because a solid financial plan is essential in helping you achieve your financial goals, whatever they may be. For the latter, there should be an understanding that financial success is not merely a product of good luck and chance. It is most often the result of hard work and well thought out planning. While financial plans come in all shapes and sizes, there are core elements that distinguish those that work best. And to discuss coming up with that well-crafted financial plan is Chartered Financial Analyst Malik Shehu. Malik, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. You're here today to talk about planning or financial planning for the new year, right? The question should be or is, how does one structure their books or their finances in such a way that it would clearly indicate that they have some sort of financial goal for that particular year?
Sometimes to look forward, you have to look backwards. You have to look at things historically. And looking at things historically means going through your spending patterns in the past. So it could be your bank statements, it could be your Excel sheets if you're the type to record. It could be your apps if you use apps, and then figure out how you've been spending. But then when you look at the future, it's all about planning. It's all about knowing what it is you want, your short-term, your medium-term, and your long-term goals. And then you find out if this can help you get the future. So if your past financial habits can help you achieve your future goals. And if the answer is no, then you need to fix something, you understand? So you need to look at what you've been doing, and then you need to ascertain what it is you want for your future, and then you find out what habits, what financial habits can help you get that.
When we're talking about this, really it is about what people normally do at the beginning of the year. They call it New Year resolutions, right? And a lot of the times, a lot of people are not successful in achieving what they set out to at the beginning of the year for the rest of the year, right? So what sort of mindset do you think a person needs to adopt to be successful in achieving their financial goals for the year, 2 years, or whatever long term?
I think when it comes to finances, just like life, you have to be adaptable, right? You have to adapt to whatever situation comes your way. So if you start a New Year's resolution and you say, I want to have 100,000 by the end of the year, example, fantastic, great, right? Let's say that your finances, your salary, your income can help you achieve that 100,000 savings by the end of the year. But in June, something happens, something tragic happens, either to you, a family member, a friend, whatever it is, and now you have to start afresh. You had planned 400,000 in 12 months, but now you're left with 6 months and everything has been wiped out. First thing you have to do is commend yourself for actually, managing to stick to it through the 6 months, and then you can start afresh. You then say, okay, fine, if I can't achieve the 100,000 by the end of the year, you make it realistic to say how much can I achieve by the end of the year in 6 months. So you have to have SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, realistic, and time bound. So you need to know that, okay, fine, specific is that if I stick through this, I was going to get 100,000 at the beginning of the year. But now things have changed. You have to be realistic and be like, no, now that I'm left with 6 months, that's my time bound, I will have to adapt to the current situation and make sure that maybe in 6 months I can make 50K or 20K or 25K. You have to, how to put this, you have to make sure that you adapt to whatever situation is thrown at you. So the only answer, or the answer that I can give to your question, is you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined all through, but you also have to be adaptable to whatever situation comes your way. You're disciplined to stick it through, and if anything changes, you're disciplined to stick through the new plan, because plans change over time. So just like we start out with our New Year's resolution, we do not know what's going to happen towards the year. So let us stick to what we set out to do, and if anything changes, we pivot. We pivot to the new path, and then we stick to that path as well. If anything happens, we pivot again, and so on and so forth.
Financial education is something that has come to the fore with the whole financial inclusion drive, right? But there's still those gaps that still exist in terms of how we can use money, where best to put our money so that we can achieve our goals. So how do you think those gaps can be bridged so that people are well educated and well aware so that they can be successful in achieving their New Year financial resolutions?
I think it starts with the individual themselves. They need to be the ones to decide, I want to have a good and better financial future, because if I come to someone and I'm teaching them financial literacy, if they're not ready or receptive to it, then it won't work. So it starts from them. And when they are ready to actually listen, then there's a lot of material out there that can assist, from podcasts to the internet, just basic Google. You get data, you Google how to better your financial position. And I think one of the two things that can help you manage your future finances or grow your future finances is mostly your debt and your investments. You want more money in the future, so you want your money to grow. Now, when you look at your retirement, your long-term plans, and when you talk about financial inclusion, you talk about just everyone, from wealthy people to people who are not as wealthy. You want to make sure that everyone's money grow. Now, you need to have products as well for the little guy. These different financial brokerage firms, asset managers and everything, they need to have products that, help the little guys. And, right, so when you talk about your financial inclusion, what I've realized mostly is that it's usually trying to give access to credit across the spectrum of people, right? But there should be a balance between access to credit, but also access to products that can help you grow your money.